Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sonic Colors for the Nintendo Wii. It is now time to go after all of the S ranks and red rings for Sweet Mountain. So of course these levels, they're quite a lot longer than many of the other stages, in terms of the fact that none of them really go on for like a minute. They're all good 2 to 3 minutes in length. So for this one, okay, this isn't a red ring. This is just to help you grab the laser wisp. I thought I was getting confused, but it turns out it's because I was missing the spring over in the distance. But this does get you a slam bonus for using the cyan laser, so there we go. That gets you some points there. Just jump down here and booyah, red ring. Sweet Mountain is... This is probably the stage that's the absolute worst when it comes to having to replay levels to grab the red rings. You don't have to worry about it with this act. This act you can grab all of the red rings in one go, but there are 2 acts that you have to play through twice in order to get the red rings because of the way the path splits off. And let's just say, I hope you're a fan of 2 Wisps in particular, because they really love using the likes of the spikes and the drill wisp around here. I mean, we already got plenty of attention. Well, we used plenty of both. We used them both a lot back in Tropical Resort, and we're going to be using them a lot here as well. However, I don't think they use the drill quite as badly here as they do in Tropical Resort, but we're also not at Aquarium Park yet. And we all know how much they love using this thing in Aquarium Park. I mean, it helps you swim faster, I guess. But this is what you're also going to be doing with the drill. Breaking through these crates, it gives you some bonus points. Thankfully, as you're drilling into them, your energy does not go down. Make sure you get in there, grab the red ring, and then that will automatically make the drill reappear for you. I didn't quite mean to go down here this early on, but whatever. You need to make sure you stay on the lower pathway. This will take you to the 3rd red ring, not 2nd. Don't know why I was thinking it was the 2nd. I just grabbed the 2nd. Try not to jump on there. Their projectiles, which for once I managed to avoid. I really wish you got points for doing that though. It's like there's no other way of defeating those egg forms, but you don't get any points for doing it that way either. It's like, why not? These things are being guarded by the Ultimate Warriors. Gingerbread men. Nah, that's fine. The popcorn does give you points, by the way. When you can run into the popcorn, and it will give you points. I don't know why. But the popcorn gives you points. I don't know, maybe it's a reference to that. Was it an arcade game? I know Sonic Mania brings reference to it, like there's some sort of popcorn game featuring Sonic. I highly doubt that's what they were going for. Sonic Mania, yes, because it even has the name. But I doubt that's what they were going for here. These things are filled with sweets, yet they're so painful. This is just I just barely avoided that. This is just for an extra life. There's no red ring up here. Just gotta watch out. Try and make sure you don't land on the rockets. Yeah, sometimes some of the red rings in this act are just straight up given to you. Like the first one is given to you, that one is given to you. In some occasions, the effort seems to have somewhat disappeared. Like, none of them I didn't get any points for any of them landing on that rocket. What happens if they miss? I guess they just fall to the ground. I mean, that one's sort of given to you, but at the very least, the missile is coming out. With long gaps in between, so I guess it's not that challenging. But, whatever. You're gonna want to hold on to your rings for this one. It's like one of the few games... No, what am I saying? I was going to say it's one of the few games where your ring bonus matters. Your ring bonus definitely matters in the likes of 06 and Unleashed. Generations, no. Forces, no. 06 and Unleashed, most definitely. Your ring bonus matters. In fact, in those games, a lot of the levels require you to do no damage runs. Which for the DLC and Sonic Unleashed and from many of the stages in 06... is really freaking hard to do. Oh, I'm not looking forward to going after all the S ranks in those games. I can only think of one game worse. Sonic and the Secret Rings. How I am not looking forward to you. Thankfully, you're a long way off. For now. But each Sonic game will bring me gradually closer to you. It's weird how the drifting actually gives you points in this game. I mean, drifting gives you points, grinding gives you points. It takes forever for you to get your first grind though, so... So we're now in Sweet Citadel Act 2. Because that's what this is. This is the Savannah Citadel tree. We wouldn't know that because we haven't played the Unleashed HD yet, but come on, that's the version that everybody played. I already got the S rank here on the original playthrough, so it's the same situation here. This is one of the easiest S ranks in the game. Here we go, my favourite part again. Sonic Colors, its soundtrack is just phenomenal. Turn around here, it's hiding in the popcorn. There we go. If you haven't listened to this soundtrack yet, do so. Buy it. Go onto iTunes or whatever it is now. And get this soundtrack. In fact, I must do that. But I also do not have this soundtrack. I think the only one I have actually is Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, it's the only one I have, Sonic Unleashed. Oh, and Heroes. Heroes and Unleashed. 06 is next because it's still my favourite, but this one, this is still such a great soundtrack. I mean, I don't even know what I would say. I like my top 5 Sonic soundtracks. 06 and Unleashed are my 2 favourites, but everything after that, I don't know. I love Colors soundtrack, I love Generations soundtrack, I love Sonic 3 soundtrack, Sonic 2 soundtrack, and Sonic Adventures soundtrack. They're all great. I mean, there's a few that don't quite live up to the others. Forces. Forces soundtrack is really underwhelming. I love Fist Bump. That's about all it's got going for it, really. Secret Rings isn't particularly interesting as well. And that platform, like, it's on screen for a split second and then it just imploded. Like, it just disappeared. It's okay, I went around doing this the wrong way, and we had to redo a bit of the level again, but oh well. The popcorn gives me points. I like that. I'm not a fan of popcorn, but at least it gives me points here. Popcorn's fine, it's just... I guess I just need to try a flavoured one instead. I think all I tried was the plain, and yeah, that is very plain. There's nothing to it. These platforms do collapse when you land on them, so there's really no turning back. Unless you can do like a well-timed air boost, but that depends on what platforms you've broken apart. Then you want to stay on the upper path here, go around that giant burger. See, this I love doing. These long light-speed dash trails. I don't know why they're so satisfying to pull off. There's just something about doing a really big light-speed dash trail. Like, the same goes for Heroes. Heroes is a number of areas where you just light speed dash for long periods of time. I think what it might also be is just the directions you go in. Like, a lot of the time the light speed dash, it's just a straight line. But with like this and with Heroes, you're going all over the place. I would say Forces as well, but the problem is that destroys the frame rate, so it sort of takes it away. I jumped right over it! I mean, it's fine. I've maxed out my lives anyway, but I jumped right over it. Welcome to the first act where we have to do it twice. And this one, this is not a very interesting level at all. Firstly, try not to miss the White Wisps. I mean, you don't get a boost bonus. It's just about the only thing in this game that doesn't give you points. But this is the level that you have to play twice because of the way it splits up. So there's one red ring towards the end of the stage that you can't get, but the two of the others are on the upper pathway, and that is a very dull pathway to travel along. I hope you like the Spike Wisp, because you're going to be seeing it a lot here. Oh yeah, the orange wisp is here as well, but we are only really using this one at the beginning. Yeah, it's just here for the sake of being introduced here, because after this, it becomes all about the spike wisp. I mean, you still got one red ring for the orange wisp, so don't use it there. Ignore that trail of rings. It's a bit of a trick. Go to this trail of rings, and then rocket your way up to the sky. That will lead you to a red ring. Then you want to go straight down, don't go sideways. And you get to these platforms. Defeat the acorns if you want, they'll give you points. Jump onto the middle platform, and then there's your next red ring. Yeah, this is one of the levels that likes to trick you a bit. I think this is where I failed it, but yeah, I don't know why I did that. Boost up here, grab the spikes wisp, and then head on to the upper pathway. And you're going to be seeing the spikes wisp a lot from this point onwards. So, land on this platform, and then stay on this platform. And then this is all you're doing. This is a very uninteresting, boring stage that all you have to do is just hold on to the spikes wisp. Don't bother going for any of the additional rings because the platform is moving surprisingly quickly. Just grab any of the rings you can see just dangling off of the sides. Ignore the robots. Just try and grab every wisp. Try and grab every pink wisp capsule you can, and then you'll get to the first red ring here. Don't follow the platform anymore, and then head up to the upper pathway. Wait for the rockets to disappear, and then homing attack your way to the end. I still don't know why the spikes wisp can homing attack, but it can. And then you have, this part's kind of awkward to do. I know it is possible to get the spikes to last that long, but I don't know exactly how you're supposed to do that. But then try and stay up here. If you're able, otherwise you can wall jump your way up there, but again the wall jump doesn't like to work in this game. But once you've done that, you can just get to the end, stay on that rail to grab the last red ring, and there we go. Complete with the S rank. But we are not done yet. We still have one more red ring that we need to collect. So this time we are ignoring the spikes wisp pathway. And now we're heading over here. Hit that hidden spring and get onto the rail. And then this will take you to a secret area. It's still possible to get the S rank by going this way as well. I did go after all the other red rings, the ones that used the rocket, like the first three. First two, whatever, yeah, the first two. And then, for some reason, walking into these causes them to do this, no matter what speed you touch them. No matter what speed it is, you're fine. And I barely made this. This was not a good place to boost. I had to jump. Luckily, it was just at the right altitude for me to homing attack. Thankfully, the homing attack in this game, it still has that sort of upwards direction that you could do in 06. Not nearly to the extreme. I mean, in 06, you could practically homing attack things right above you, but Unleashed, Generation, I think Unleashed anyway, but I know this game and Generations, you could still slightly homing attack things that are above you. And that's it. I didn't exactly beat my score this time. But, you know, it's still, just show you, it's still possible to get the S rank regardless of which direction you're going. Hey, Gingerbread Man! And here's another example. The difference being is that this time the pathway splits up at the beginning and then joins back together again, so yeah, I'm not showing off both ways of finishing the stage this time because for the most part it is the same stage. It also contains what I've previously said to be one of my least favourite red rings in the game that I proceed to get on my first try. So you go up here and then you can grab this red ring, but it prevents you from getting that red ring because you need the laser. Now, I have seen videos of people collecting the red rings, and they were able to get all of these in one go. And that's because, just before you get to that loop, you can jump over the dash pad, jump over the next one as well, and then you can grab the laser inside the loop, and then run back up. I don't know if that was patched out, or if it's something like, maybe it was fixed when they released it in the PAL region. Because I can't do that. No matter how high in the air Sonic is, he will react to the dash pad and it will automatically send him through the loop and I can't get that red ring. So it must have been something that they altered in the PAL version. PAL, yeah, right. Well, it does try and make life harder for me by making me redo the stage again. Frenzy, what is wrong with you? Why aren't you breaking the blocks? Actually, it's not there. This time Frenzy's used to use. It's like the one time it doesn't react to a spring. Other times it tends to react to springs. I don't even know where that spring takes you, because you want to go this way. And now we have this very uninteresting section where there is a red ring here, you just got to get up high enough. Break the popcorn when you can. Again, it's points. You know, it's got rings in it. The rings give you points as well. It's like the only game where the rings are worth 100 points when you pick them up. I think it's also one of only 2 Sonic games where you actually get points for collecting the ring and holding onto your rings. Like before, it's been one or the other. The classic games and adventure, you got no points for picking up rings because you were given your points at the end. But then in Adventure 2, Heroes and Shadow, you got points for collecting rings, but you weren't given a ring bonus at the end. But then 06 decided to put the two together. Gives you points for collecting rings and points for holding onto them. Then Unleashed brought it back to just being the ring bonus at the end, and then Colors brings it back again. So it's both, and then Generations, points at the end again. And then I don't know what Forces did, I don't remember. But yeah, because your scores are so massive, they give you 100 points per ring. Which doesn't really mean anything, again. A million points in this game is like getting like 20,000 points in SA2. It means nothing. Ignore those diamonds. Right, this is awkward to get. My previous playthrough, I had such a hard time grabbing that red ring. This time I got it on my first try because I said it was hard to get. We don't need to see the rest of that stage. It's all the same after that. Yeah, it's surprisingly awkward to aim for that little way in there. But again, I still don't like how you have to play Axe twice, especially that one, because that one is so boring. And it's not like Unleashed, where once you collected one of the medals, you can keep the medal. You know, as long as you save the game before turning it off, that medal is permanently yours. Don't need to finish a level or anything like that. You grab it, you got it, but that doesn't happen here. If you die, then you have to start over again. Oh, I'm dying. I thought it was getting better, damn it. Right, we're back with the Cube Wisp. I don't even remember what happens in this stage. I just remember this was the stage that gave me, I think this was one of the stages that gave me a really hard time. Thankfully, this experience wasn't quite as bad as Sweet Mountain. This is Sweet Mountain. This experience wasn't quite as bad as Starlight Carnival. This didn't take me as long. It still took a while, but it didn't take me quite as long. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit out a lot. If at any point the video mutes, if at any point I seem to just go mute, I am editing out the coughing fits. I'm still not properly there yet. Oh, I hate this part. I hate this part. Again, if you're running at like max speed without boosting, it is possible to get some airtime, but it's very difficult to do. Otherwise, Sonic just lets go of the thing, which makes this section kind of impossible to do when you run out of boost. Which is fair, isn't it? That's nice design. I think there is an upper pathway that allows you to avoid that, but I'm not sure where it is. If it's there at all. Like I said, I think it's there, but I don't entirely remember. Like I said, they really liked using the Spike Wisp in this, in Sweet Mountain. So let's head on through here, through this little chasm. Have to drop down or jump up for the Spike Wisp. and then just dash your way through all of these. I decided, when you get to the end of this, the energy runs out. So I thought I'd just get a few extra points. Oh, this was a bad idea. It was fine yesterday. I recorded Starlight Carnival's commentary yesterday. It was fine. Why is this happening? Oh, this part's longer too. That's helpful. Alright, Act 6. This is another one where we're using the exact same wisps. So we're back to the cube and back to the spikes. Only this time we have these yellow blocks. I think they want you to just break through these with the spike wisp, but that's exactly what I do, but you can boost into this as well. That's how I got it the first time. Why didn't I wait? Oh well, obviously I still get the S rank, otherwise I wouldn't be showing this off. I'm a gingerbread man murderer. Not the gumdrop buttons! I've got to mind your timing when using the spike wisp sometimes, so don't grab that capsule. Well, you don't even need to use the spikes for this. You can literally just slide into these yellow blocks and then you can still break them and get through. But you know, if you want points, you can cube. Your main source of points is just going to be using the cube to grab these blue rings, and that's going to get you the points. Apart from moments where you do that. You're not at risk of them suddenly reappearing and crushing you. They're not going to do that. If you're standing in the place where one of those blocks will appear, you will be fine. Trust me, the next part will not be full of coughing. I will mute these out. Nobody wants to hear the sound of me endlessly coughing. Nobody wants to hear the sound of me, I imagine. Am I too harsh on myself? I don't know. I mean, it's all in good humour. Mostly. I mean it all in mostly good humour. Right, our last red ring is just on a rail that will send us just up here. It looks like it's an alternate pathway. I mean, it sort of is, but jump on the rail and that will send you up here to our final red ring. It's a lot easier to do and a lot faster when you don't... Well, I say easier. That was not hard. It's a lot faster when you have boosts, but I didn't have any, so... Did I even get any boosts in this level? Oh well. And that's it, that's all of the red rings in Sweet Mountain. So all that's left is just our boss fights. Don't know why I'm still going after all of these things, because I already have 99 lives. And now it's time for Captain Jelly, I think this one is, and the other one is Admiral Jelly. Again, this is really more of a level than it is a boss fight, so... just get to the end and just make sure you grab the yellow drill, that's how you're going to be getting points. I don't think you can do this otherwise. For starters, he takes more hits. Just drill underground, your ring bonus is not a worry, you're going to lose it because of these things. Your main source of points are the burrow bombs. Just keep drilling in circles, take out as many as you can. And then once that happens, drill up to the top. Just barely made that because this wasn't the first try. I did die because I ran out of drill just before I reached Captain Jelly. Stay on the upper pathway. This time, the seeds are firing a lot more often now because you're going to need to hit the upper ball. Second one, and there we go. I still don't know why this giant lever is here, considering that it causes the ship to malfunction. I mean, the thing is still floating, isn't it? It's not actually landed. So what did it do? I thought that random lever in Skydeck was weird, but what is the point of this thing? Again, Zoya, your points are coming from the Burrow bots and not Captain Jelly. He can't do anything. Yeah, I think the little things, you can destroy them, but they all disappear once you've killed Captain Jelly anyway. And then just try and grab as many rings as possible. Which really is not that many, you can't, because of the way it's designed, you can't really get that many rings. And there we go, didn't even need the rings. Because I destroyed so many Burrow bots. And there we go. Right, well, next up will be Asteroid Coaster, and I will try and make sure that I am slightly more well when I get to that. So, I will see you guys.